You deserve far more than this emotional torment, more than the constant guessing about where you stand with someone. For true love stands boldly and unashamedly in the radiant light, never skulking in the shadows of doubt. And the first glaring sign of their disregard is this unpredictable behavior that stealthily drains your joy and plants insidious seeds of self doubt deep within your heart. When pain or grief strikes with unrelenting force, watch closely. The second behavior emerges as they disappear into the ether, reappearing with calculated precision only when it serves their own selfish interests, transforming your sacred bond into a cold, transactional exchange rather than a heartfelt connection, abandoning you in your darkest moments while seeking you out solely for personal gain or convenience. Don't contort or shrink yourself to fit their fleeting whims. For the third sign reveals itself in how they make you feel, like an unwelcome burden, rolling their eyes, or creating a sudden icy distance when you dare to voice your deepest needs, wrapping you in a silent rejection that stands in stark contrast to the genuine love that embraces your struggles as a cherished privilege and a shared journey. The fourth behavior is the calculated avoidance of your pain, shutting down or brushing aside your tears with dismissive labels like too sensitive or too dramatic, laying bare their emotional unavailability and the stubborn refusal to dive into the profound depths your soul yearns for, leaving you isolated and vulnerable in your most tender moments. Fifth, they only reach out when they need something, sending a sudden text or call not to uplift your weary spirit, but to exploit your kindness, treating your compassionate heart as a resource they plunder without remorse, leaving you with a hollow, aching void once their need is satisfied, a parasitic pattern that drifts far from the selfless care true relationships embody. Sixth, they wield silence as a weapon of dismissal, ignoring your heartfelt messages or desperate calls with a deafening void that screams your unimportance. A chilling departure from the attentive care of God, who never leaves your prayers unanswered or your heart unheard, setting a standard they fail to meet. Seventh, they fail to lean into your suffering, remaining coldly indifferent when your tears fall like rain, meeting your raw pain with a heartless silence or harsh judgment, instead of the warm compassion that should bind you close, revealing a spirit that no longer aligns with yours, abandoning you when you need support most. Eighth, they step over you when you stumble and fall, leaning heavily on your strength when they are weak, but offering no lifeline or support when you're down, forging a lopsided dynamic that starves your spirit emotionally while they extract comfort without reciprocation, a one-sided street that exhausts your soul. Ninth, they excuse their absence with vague notions of being complicated, masking their carelessness with an emotional tug of war that torments your peace rather than heals it, keeping you tethered to their indifference with a deceptive game that erodes your well being. Tenth, and finally, they show up only in desperation, becoming suddenly friendly when they need a ride, money, or emotional rescue, but vanishing into thin air when you're the one in need. A convenience driven presence rooted in self interest rather than genuine devotion. A hollow connection that pales in comparison to God's unwavering, unconditional love that walks beside you always. You are not hard to love. Your needs are not an excessive burden. And if they make you feel otherwise, it's a reflection of their own limitations, not a flaw within you. God beholds your immeasurable value, and He will guide you to those who mirror His heart. So rise with unwavering wisdom, Set firm yet compassionate boundaries, and let their revealing silence expose their true colors as you step boldly and confidently into the peace, purpose, and divine destiny you were magnificently created for.